Once again, thank you everyone for making up today. My name is Bobby. I'm the one looking after the senior management in Wise Healthcare and Magnum Support Services. We organized this event to bring you all good people here today to work with you on the same page, share some information and experiences with us. I've got amazing James Loveday with us and Karen to share a lot of different experiences with you guys. Something that you can learn from, imbibe that information into your own businesses and contribute to make lives better for the NDIS participants that we all are looking forward to support in one way or the other. As we progress, we acknowledge the traditional owners of the land. We pay our respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. We recognize their continued connection to land, water, and the community. As we go, we are taking a lot of pictures and videos for everyone here. So can I get a consent from everyone to share these online? Yes? Thank you. If anyone may not want to consent, do please let us know. Samantha here. Can you show your face, Samantha? Samantha here and Reg up there will be the one who will be posting these. If you may not want this to be shared too, please talk to them, please update them. Thank you. My name is Bobby. I've got my LinkedIn QR if somebody wants to add me on, so please go for it. I've been in the industry since 2018. I got initiated into the sector. I'll share that story on the next slide. I'm looking after Magnum Support Services. I'm looking after Wise Healthcare. Through the years, nearly 6 years in NDIS sector and also about 20 years collective in different business sectors, looking after different industries and different business options throughout my business career. I'm at a stage where I'm happy to share my experiences and knowledge with everyone, which is why I've got another initiative that is MetaSwift Solutions. That's the third icon at the bottom. Part of the MetaSwift Solutions, I'm not going into much details today, but a part of that MetaSwift Solutions is more about sharing information, knowledge, helping you brainstorm ideas towards growth of your own business, and find further and future pathways to wherever you are or wherever you want to go, whatever you are trying to achieve. Nothing can hold you back. Nothing is in a state where you cannot work around or find a solution for. Only challenge with that, what I find, is that you need to talk to somebody and entertain the opinions from the other person. I'm happy to work with you if there is something I can help you with. My NDIS journey started in 2018. I got initiated into the NDIS sector by one of the close friends in the offices where I was working in, wanting me to get onto NDIS sector as a cleaning services provider, what I was doing. Slowly as we progressed into 2019, providing only cleaning services, basic home maintenance, gardens maintenance, we learned a lot as we went through. The industry, as we know, I've worked with a lot of different people. I've worked with Belinda since about 2019. I've worked with Karen since about 2019, 2020. I've known James since 2020. I've known a lot of other faces, a lot of other people here and out of this room since that time. And I've learned a lot. I've shared a lot of my experiences as I go, because in my time, there was not enough people to teach me what NDIS is. There were not enough people who are happy to share information, because in that period, everybody was at a stage when they were learning a lot of different information, a lot of different perspectives, what NDIS is, how to do, and how to go about different ideas and different things. As we progressed into 2020, we were growing into the range of services. In 21, we did increase the service portfolio. I don't know why that text is out of line, but as we went into 22, we were doing well for the business. But yes, I started an initiative on my own to share my experiences, to share the knowledge understanding whether it is anything to do with the technology, anything to do with your own business ideas, something that we can work on, something that you can work on, something that I can help you with. The idea was to share the resources, to look after the participants together alongside any other providers that was out there. There's not one particular service in NDIS, which I'll talk about in a few seconds. In 23, as I was learning and meeting a lot of different people, I revised a lot of my internal processes. I was working hard on that. Come 24, we started Wise Healthcare. So just stating with the staff and the team's recommendation to say that we tried to be wise. We tried to do things a little bit in a better way, a little bit in a more collaborative way rather than the way a lot of other businesses were doing. In 25, we've got a goal to go above and beyond, to go interstate. We've got goals to collaborate with others. We've got goals to work together with others in a way to share the information between us within the industry and help everyone to grow rather than keep all the benefits to us. There's a lot of work to be done within the NDIS sector. A lot of people I see, a lot of new faces here. I've discussed with a few people. Sandy was one of the guys up here. He's getting into the industry. Understanding NDIS, what NDIS is and what NDIS does, it is an important part of what we are doing and where we are. It's important to understand it's a government-funded disability services. It is a support for people with disability, inclusive community, a lot of basics, but there is a lot more than this. Beyond NDIS, there's a lot of other information that we know or we don't know. We get to know there is only a particular service, a personal support assistance. You go to a person's house and help out a person with disability. Yes, that's true. But how many services do a person need? I've listed a little bit of a basic list of services which everybody knows, which a lot of people here are providing or wanting to get onto NDIS bandwagon to provide those services. I love the spirit, but we need to understand the depth of where these services overlap each other, where these services talk to each other, and where the service providers who are specializing into any of these services, say for example a physio or a speech therapist, how that speech therapist is helping an NDIS participant to communicate with a cleaner, a support worker, a support coordinator, or a plan manager. It is a challenging position for every provider, but it is far more challenging for the person with disability, which we need to understand, to work together in a collaborative way to help out each other, to look after that one NDIS participant who we are here to support. Beyond this, I do get to hear a lot, like, what else is there? A lot of people here that I've met today have been there back in Doncaster back in August. I see a lot of familiar faces. I did mention it there that I was putting together a list of various NDIS terminologies within the NDIS sector, which we do need to understand. I think on a personal level, within my own career within NDIS in the last 6 years, since 2018, I've dealt with nearly about 80% of everyone who's listed here. A participant, plan, capacity building, support coordinator, occupational therapist. The NDIS concepts about self-determination, choice and control, provider registrations, access and inclusion, lifetime support, monitoring somebody's health, evaluations, including the positions that is within the NDIS, NDIA, and NDIS commissions, organizations at a large, which does include an NDIS planner, commissioner, assistant commissioner, LAC, complaints commissioner, and the list goes on. The more I was putting this list together, I was having a lot more names, lot more titles, going through my emails, a lot of different people I've dealt with. It's not easy, and I understand I can see a lot of different faces here. It is overwhelming. Belinda, Karen, James, they know there's this con here. They know there is a lot more information than this that is out there. When you get into an NDI sector and you're doing good and you want to do good, there's a lot more titles, lot more concepts and positions that you have to deal with. If you face a challenge, I'm happy to help. We've been through a lot of different ideas with a lot of different providers. James here, James will discuss his experiences with you. He's been in the healthcare sector for more than 20 years from a very early age. Dealing with any of the titles, how to navigate it through, I can help you, he can help you through, and there is a lot of people who are doing good, are happy to help. But this slide, one of the ways, say if I'm wrong, is one of the reasons why we discuss navigating through NDIS. Yes? But it doesn't end here. NDIS is structured into three basic categories: core, capacity, and capital. A lot of people who are new in the industry or who are wanting to get into the industry, they've got no idea about what a core is, what a capacity is, what a capital is. I met somebody a few weeks ago and I'm an NDIS provider. I was like, very good. What do you do? We do disability services. I said, no. What do you do? I was like, sorry, I don't get the question. I was like, what do you do? What do you bring to your office as an NDIS provider after your registration? They're like, I worked as a disability support worker. I said, how long? 2 years. Why registration? Why file for your registration? Why start a business? Why can't you continue the same thing? But if you get the registration, what do you do? Oh, we do nursing, we do support coordination. Do you know anything about it? No, they don't. I can't help everyone, but I'm happy to help if you seek help, if you want to get help. In this sector, it's not that you don't know means that you cannot be in the sector. I've come from a background where I had no idea about what I was getting into in NDIS in 2018. I learned the hard way, but I want to make it easy for everyone else who's there. But the people who are there who know it better than I'm happy to discuss and I'm happy to learn. A lot of people here, a lot of people outside, when I meet them and if I don't know anything, I'll listen, I'll learn. There's always a lot of new information. But I learn and I'm happy to share that information in a lot of different ways. A lot of people do ask me about why networking. A networking gives you a better learning, a process that you did not know. If you're going out and making money, $1 in your pocket tomorrow is $1 that is not there today. Or $1 you make is not $1 that was there before. But similarly, a lesson you learn today is not a lesson that you knew yesterday. The information. NDIS is ever changing because they want to make it good and strong for the NDIS participant. You can keep informed. You can talk to the others. I love the idea seeing you all talking to each other when you came in. I wanted to give it a bit more time, but we will surely be running out of time by the end of the day. Building up referral partnerships is through the networking, talking to people in such places. People get to know you. It's industry recognition. Some solutions to problems that you have, something that you want to discuss. I went to Townsville last month. I'm still getting emails from a few people who are either wanting to get onto the industry or are working into allied health sector in the industry already. A few of those are seeking some help and guidance, and probably next month I'll be flying back to Townsville just for one day to meet them all, discuss, give them my understanding. Maybe it's going to be on my cost, but it's important for them to learn and come up better to eventually work with the NDIS participants and provide that better service which we all are looking for. A lot of people ask me about why and what is Wise Healthcare, because you know me as Bobby from Magnum Support Services. Wise Healthcare is an initiative I started last year to expand into other areas of healthcare sector, not just sticking within the NDIS industry or NDIS, the arena itself. I'm still working on a lot of different areas with that, with my team. We're still trying to dig our pathways forward from all the learnings and experiences and the knowledge that we're sharing, including the day-to-day, which is going to be coming together sometime in the next year, I'd say. Till then, till the time we are trying to paint that picture, it will be a little bit more time for us before we disclose exactly what we're doing on that front. When I started with Wise Healthcare, We started with a single vision to empower individuals with disabilities. We, through the experiences over the 6 years leading from 2018, we've been seeing a lot of gaps within the NDIS sector, within the service provision for the NDIS participants in a lot of different ways. But as we kept working towards that particular vision to empower the people with disabilities, we started working towards what do we need to do and where are we falling short, where is missing in the sector. What else do we need to provide? How else can we make a life better? But as we went forward, the vision expanded. We added a lot of different ideas, a lot of different opinions, everybody in the team wanting to do good, everybody wanted to add something to the bigger vision for the organization. As we were doing that and building up, and we have the right people to contribute towards those different visions, that's what we are working towards in Wise Healthcare. Every time I have met James in the last 4 years, he's always fascinated me about his story. Today I got to know completely a different side of his life. And looking at those pictures from the memories from 87, that is amazing. How old were you, James, back then in 87? 3. Amazing. He's kept his journey very brief, but sharing a very small glimpse into his past today. He did jump into his present in a few slides after, when I for sure wanted to know something more about his past, a bit of a journey. I love the part of the kids, the sociopath kids. Maybe, James, I can go there one day. I'll take the address from you after. Coming back to Wise Healthcare, in the team, in Wise Healthcare in the office, we've got a few people looking after the overall operations and the management. Do I have Dee? Where's Dee? Oh, she stepped out for something. She's checking on the food coming in a bit. Dee and Vashi has been by my side since nearly 4 years now. Dee is the one, when you call in regarding any services that we do currently, Dee will be the one looking after all of that, overlooking the phone calls, overlooking the staff for what they're doing, overall operations completely. It's an extension of me learning from the way I do things, the way I want people to be looked after. Vashi looks after all the accounts, plan management, and compliances within the audits. She speaks to the auditors to make sure that we are working in a compliant manner at all times. Our community engagement officers, managers, the girls are right here. Can you stand up at least? The other 2 girls are not here. Show around. Samantha and Reg. I'm getting good feedback about these 2 girls, about how they are keeping up with the social network, keeping up the connections, managing the coffee catch-ups that we are doing during the day, once a week or once in 2 weeks. I've lost count. Like, what are we doing? Are we doing once a week, once in 2 weeks? Once a week. In all different areas, these 2 girls picked up the nice places to bring people together, to connect everyone, to talk to people, to build the better connections and a collaborative environment which I've dreamt of, which I've always wanted, with passion to work with the others and having the others to be working with each other. With the rest of the team in the office, just wanted to take this time to share their faces as well. We've got somebody looking after the accounts, somebody looking after the hiring, somebody looking after the supports, plans, compliances, data management, IT, software, admin, could be anything. But there are more people that were not present on the day of this picture when this was taken. What do we do in Wise Healthcare? Currently, because I'm looking after Magnum Support Services in Wise Healthcare, and as I discussed, Wise Healthcare has got a different path going forward into the future. In Wise Healthcare, we are currently concentrating on the core supports, which goes into personal care, community, daily living, assistance with household tasks on an everyday basis. It could be anything to do with a meal preparation, taking a participant out into the social activities, into the community engagements, for medical appointments, helping out a participant to keeping up their own houses, looking after themselves, self-grooming. The list is endless. To give you a brief opinion about what is included briefly, not in detail, I just wanted to add up a list of things that we are doing for various other participants currently within Wise Healthcare, not in Magnum Support Services. There's a lot of other services that we're doing in the Magnum Support Services, but we will be talking about that another day as well. Vashi and Dee is here, so at least you can show your faces. It is standing at the back. These few people are making the world go round for me and making sure the things and the services NDIS participants are looking for is being delivered in the rightful manner, as humanly as possible and as compliant, in as compliant manner as we can do. We try to keep our approach very person-centered, but I love sharing some knowledge as what does a person-centered approach means. When I was talking to the team about I want to put up a slide that we do a very person-centered approach, they were talking to me and we were discussing about, but Bobby, they need to know what a person-centered approach is. Like few new providers, Sandy, this is what you will need to be looking at when you're looking after a participant, whether that is anything to do with building trust with their family, building trust with a support coordinator, a plan manager, a physio. To build up a reference, you need to be working in a collaborative manner with the care team network. You need to respect the choices and decisions, which sometimes can be very, very challenging. How many support coordinators do we have here? How many physios do we have here? How many plan managers do we have here? We got one, two. I won't go into too many other titles, but these people can tell the rest of the group here what various choices and the independent choices or the control that the participant wants, how difficult this can actually make a day in an NDIS provider's life. It is amazing. But the rest of you, as you're learning, depending on whatever profession or whatever services you're doing, I know Gaurav here is in IT, finance. Yes. It's a different aspect to empowering or providing tools for the NDIS providers in a lot of different manners. But those tools, how we can use to make that one day in our life easy, to make sure we look after that particular choice and control for a participant, we look after the family members of the participants, it's not an easy call to make. The only way you can do is ask and talk to somebody who can guide you through. Going through providing a care, you do need to go through a lot of individual assessments, understanding an NDIS participant, understanding their functional limitations or their capacities, understanding their goals, understanding what they're looking for, their challenges, disabilities, whether that is visible or invisible, the circumstances, visible or invisible. If somebody does want a copy of these slides, do let me know and I'll be happy to send you through a PDF copy of all these slides as well later as well. Saving time to not to go into the details because James has got something planned for us after one more presentations about experiences from Karen as well. The areas we service at the moment, starting from Melbourne under Wise Healthcare itself, we've got participants that we are looking after closely with the support coordinators and other allied health professionals in Adelaide, Sydney and Brisbane. That is starting from within the one last year. Just over 1 year. Was it what I say, 13 months? Just about that, yes. It's not impossible, but you have to keep your eyes and ears open at all different times, making sure you're doing the right thing every step of the way. This has been really an important aspect of our working culture within Magnum from 2018, and it's one of the important aspects that I've touched back in about 2013 when I started my own cleaning business from 2012. This is something I worked with my solicitor to work together the process within the business long before I even came into NDIS, and restructured it to have a working solution and working together in a proper way with the employees, with the support workers, with the contractors, subcontractors, and people who want to have contractors further down in the downline. There are ways to it. GST is a very critically important element.
I'll talk about my passion. Is that all right?
Yes.
Never, ever, ever send a request to anyone on LinkedIn saying, "Hi, my name is Con. I offer this service. Please give me some clients." Never ever do that. If you do it with me, you get ignored and you get blocked. So if I blocked you, you know why. If I've ignored you, you know why. What you got to do when connecting with people, it's a relationship. What Jane said before, and what Bobby's saying, it's all about the other person. It's never about you. It's always about the other person. If you keep that in mind, you'll go a long way in connecting and interacting with people.
Thank you, Con. Con is a support coordinator, and I do agree with him. I get a lot of emails almost every day. One of my anxious moments going into the office is deleting at least about 125 emails every day. But still at the same time, going through them before I hit delete, because something in there can be either an important message or there can be something, an important learning. Something what another person is doing it right or just not right in my standards maybe, or on the day. There is a lot of that information.